TVC, the brand you trust.
The beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we do not understand. Words are a form of action capable of influencing change. In word power, you will learn some of those wonderful words. And that's not all. We hope that it will instigate in you a love for words. Then there is the dictionary, which has as many as 4 lakh words. And then you have almost 500,000 words which have not yet made into the dictionary. So, happy learning!
Namaste, मैं हूँ राघव.
Hi, I'm Mansi.
Hi, a very good morning to you. Word power. Build your vocabulary. Word power is a powerful bank of words where you can learn a lot of new, interesting words to understand and use in your everyday life.
We have included around 4 words for every alphabet and then elaborated on the meaning and the usage of each word. This VCD has words from the alphabet A up to M. The remaining alphabet will be completed in VCD 29.
Make sure you try and include these words whenever you speak to someone. It will show that you have a good grasp on the English language. So come on, let us begin. All the best. A. Affect. Authentic. Apprehensive. Attribute. Articulate. In its verb form, to affect means to have an influence on something or someone in a slightly negative way. Affect means cause or have an influence on something.
For example, Radha's father's death affected her studies. The Gujarat earthquake affected the people's livelihood. The affected areas of Gujarat are now being serviced with food and water packets. Don't get angry, it affects me. The World Cup matches on TV affected my studies. Meaning, the World Cup matches on TV disturbed my studies.
A common mistake we make is to confuse affect with effect. Effect means result of or to make something happen. It is a noun which means an immediate or direct result, as in, what effect does that medicine have on you?
Here are some more examples. The effect of earthquake is severe. On the other hand, smoking can affect the heart. It can cause harm. If you were to explain the same sentence using the word effect, you can say, the effect of smoking is fatal.
Authentic. Authentic. Authentic means genuine or based on facts. Therefore, true or genuine. True to one's own personality, spirit, or character. Not false or imitation. Worthy of acceptance or belief as conforming to or based on fact.
For example, the certificates provided by your school are authentic. Is your driving license authentic? The passport is the only authentic identity document accepted by all. The PAN card proves you are an authentic taxpayer. Raj got a cricket bat with an authentic autograph by Sachin Tendulkar.
In its verb form, it is used like this. Please authenticate your passport from the passport office, which means you need to get your passport verified from the passport office.
Authenticity is the noun form. Use it with reference to facts. How can you prove the authenticity of this document? Always check the authenticity of the gold you purchase from the jeweler.
Apprehensive. Apprehensive. It means being uneasy, anxious, or worried about something. Mansi, can you give us some examples of sentences that can be used with this word?
She is apprehensive about her exams. Sonia Gandhi is apprehensive about the results of the elections. Tina was apprehensive about her first day to college.
Attribute. Attribute is a noun meaning an inherent characteristic, also an accidental quality. Synonyms or similar words for the word attribute are characteristics, feature, aspect, or element. Attribute is the noun form of the word.
He has the attributes of a leader. The limousine is an attribute of his seniority. The verb form could be used like this. This sonnet is attributed to Shakespeare. The flight's delay was attributed to fog. Her anger can be attributed to her genes. Her good looks can be attributed to her mother's beauty.
Articulate. Articulate. Articulate is a word for eloquent, fluent, or expressive. You could be articulate about your feelings, in your language, or about your needs, or even about your talent.
For example, Sneha is very articulate in English. It means that Sneha is able to express herself clearly in English. He was unable to articulate the reasons for expecting a raise, meaning he was unable to explain well why he deserves a raise. Her fears made it difficult for her to articulate her suspicion. The judges were quite articulate about the failings of the participants.
If you use articulate as a verb,
He articulated his concerns to the Board of Trustees.
in its adjective form, you could say,
President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is an articulate man. It means President APJ Dr. Abdul Kalam is an effective communicator.
in its noun form, that is articulation. In its noun form, it is articulation.
This package focuses on articulation of the learner. The voice artist requires better articulation and expression to be selected.
Bifurcate. Bifurcate means to cause or divide into two branches or parts. To bifurcate is the verb form. Inflected verb forms of the word are bifurcated, bifurcating. Here are various usages of the word and its forms.
The bifurcation on the road tempts me to be adventurous. A bifurcated tube was used for the experiment. There was a confusing bifurcation on the road ahead. Every group will be bifurcated into for and against for the debate. Trains bifurcate into north and south directions at this junction. Andheri is bifurcated into east and west by the railway line.
Blackout. Blackout is a verb and a noun. It has several meanings. Blackout means a brief phase of dulling or loss of vision, consciousness, or memory.
Anita suffered from a blackout at the party. The actress had a blackout during the shoot. The driver blacked out, resulting in the crash.
Blackout also means lights off in a play to end a play or between scenes.
The funny skit ended with a blackout. The sudden blackout in between the play was actually an interval.
Blackout could also mean a period of darkness enforced as a precaution against air raids.
Jodhpur had to go under complete blackout during the 1971 war.
It also means a period of darkness caused by a failure of electrical power.
Parts of Mumbai will soon suffer from blackouts due to power shortage.
It could mean suppression, a blotting out by censorship.
News blackout was issued during the emergency imposed by Indira Gandhi.
A temporary loss of a radio signal.
A blackout of even 5 seconds airtime causes a great loss of money for radio stations and TV channels.
Our next word is blasphemy. Blasphemy means the act of insulting or showing contempt or lack of reverence for God or irreverence toward something considered sacred or inviolable. Blasphemy is a noun. Blasphemies is the plural form. Blasphemous is the adjective.
It is considered a blasphemy to talk ill of another's faith. Using the God's name unnecessarily is a blasphemy. In Hollywood, it is blasphemy to ridicule a great director like Francis Ford Coppola. It is blasphemous to deny the existence of God or the supreme power.
Breach. Breach means to break, violate, flout, contravene, or infringe. Breach is a noun and can be used as a verb. The past tense of the verb is breached and breaching is the present tense. Here are its different usages. A temporary gap in continuity.
The actor came back to work after a breach in his career. The illness caused a breach in his research.
A hole made in a wall by battering.
Nobody could breach the forts of Shivaji. The process of breaching the wall is underway.
A broken, ruptured, or torn condition or area.
This rock and heavy metal music breaches the peace and calm of the neighborhood.
A break in accustomed, friendly relations.
After his harsh words, there is a breach in our relationship. Culminate.
Culminate. Culminate is a verb meaning to reach the highest or decisive point. Culminated is a past tense and culmination is the noun form. How can we use the word?
He brought the function to its logical culmination with a group song. The presentation was used to culminate the proceedings at the seminar. He hoped to culminate the friendship with a wedding proposal. No accord was reached at the culmination of the summit.
Commission. Commission. The word is used as a noun and as a verb. It has many meanings.
He was commissioned to act as a commander.
The rank and authority conferred.
He was awarded a commission as captain for his work.
Authority to act for, on behalf of, or in place of another.
I have been commissioned to break the building.
A task or matter entrusted to an agent.
While I'm away, I commission you to look after the property. The TV serial was commissioned to a production house by the channel.
A group of persons directed to perform some duty.
They appointed a commission to look into the accusations.
A fee paid to an agent.
I will invest if I am also paid a 20% commission.
On commission, serving as partial or full pay for work done.
I have to go to London on a commission for 2 years.
Out of commission, out of active service or use.
The hotel will remain out of commission till the renovation is completed. Ever since the ship has been declared out of commission, it is rusting.
Defer. To put off, delay an action or proceeding. Past tense is deferred. Defer implies a deliberate putting off to a later time.
I deferred the idea of buying a car until the rains get over. It is better to defer your decision till you know the micro details of this confusing case, said the lawyer to the judge. If you're not sure, defer signing the proposal. All the decisions on reconstruction should be deferred until the war is over.
Dominate. To rule or control. This is a verb. The present tense of the verb to dominate is dominating. Past tense, dominated. It can be used in many ways. To rule.
The Roman Empire dominated the world. The British dominated India, Asia and Australia. Women will dominate the world one day.
To exert the supreme determining or guiding influence on.
His mother was a dominating factor in his life. His magnificent obsession was a dominating factor in his work. The ambition to own the business dominated his judgment.
To overlook from a superior height or position.
The holy hill of Jerusalem dominates the town and its commerce. The 35-story hotel dominated the entire block of building. The statue of the angel dominated the shrine in the chapel.
To be leading in.
The pines dominate the forest. Processed foods dominate the maximum shelves in the supermarket. Women's clothes dominate the fashion world.
Drawback. Drawback is a noun meaning a disadvantage.
It is a drawback to be a woman in the army. Height of less than 5 feet is a drawback for an airline's job. The lack of greenery is a drawback in our neighborhood. Scanty water supply is a drawback in this area. E. Edgy, ethics, equilibrium.
Edgy. Edgy is an adjective meaning tense and irritable.
The dog was edgy when the man came closer. The baby was edgy after a long drive. She became edgy because the flight took so long. The doctor took so long that the patient became edgy.
Ethics. This word is a noun meaning science of morals in human conduct.
The government must run the country with ethics in mind. Children's education must include ethics as a subject. Let us follow ethics and do the right thing in this case. The ethics of the judgment is still under a cloud.
Ethical is an adjective meaning morally correct.
There is a worldwide debate on whether euthanasia is ethical or not. The doctor must be ethical when it comes to using drugs. All work that is done here has an ethical reason. Students must learn that ethical behavior is expected of them.
Equilibrium. This is a noun meaning a state of intellectual, emotional, or physical balance.
He has been trying to recover his equilibrium after the incident. The gymnast lost his equilibrium on the beam. While climbing the rocky hill, he lost his equilibrium and fell. The tragedy has made him lose his equilibrium. When the cameraman clicked him, he lost his equilibrium and pulled the camera away.
A state of adjustment between opposing or divergent influences or elements.
The North and the South Pole maintain the climatic equilibrium of the Earth. Perspiration maintains the equilibrium of the body's temperature. Frantic, freak, fluke, frequent, Fringe.
Frantic. An adjective meaning wildly excited.
The frantic fans were trying to grab his coat and tie. When the stars began to arrive, the frantic crowds began to scream and whistle.
Emotionally out of control.
He became frantic with anger and frustration when he heard that she had cancer. When he lost his father, he was so frantic that he began to yell at the doctor. The starlet made frantic attempts to get some attention.
Marked by fast and nervous, disordered, or anxiety-driven activity.
They made a frantic search for the lost child. He walked up and down frantically outside the court. Frantically is the adverb form. He frantically pulled on the curtains to block the view.
Freak. A noun meaning an abnormal person.
The circus has a freak woman as its main attraction. He was so tall, he looked like a freak. He had a freak sixth finger.
An irregular occurrence.
The freak storm upset their plans. The freak floods washed away many huts. He got injured in a freak accident.
A person with a special interest.
He was a health food freak. She was a fruit juice freak.
As a verb, freak out can mean become very angry.
Her mother freaked out when she heard about the accident. Her teacher freaked out when she saw her bold dress. The husband freaked out when his wife cut her hair short.
Fluke. This is a noun meaning a stroke of luck.
His awards were a fluke and not a result of hard work. The discovery was a fluke. It was a fluke that the cards were in her favor.
Frequent. To associate with, be in, or resort to, often or habitually.
She searched for him in the bar he frequented. He frequented the library more than the canteen. He had a habit of frequenting the beach for a walk.
Occurring often.
He catches a cold frequently. He visits her frequently. He drinks water frequently.
Fringe. This is a noun meaning an ornamental border.
The bed cover had an attractive fringe. She had cut her hair as a fringe across her forehead. The fringe on the shirt was of a special design.
As a transitive verb, to furnish or adorn with a fringe.
The ferns fringed the flower bushes. The lace fringed the tablecloth. The coconut trees fringed the lake.
As a noun, fringe benefit, an employment benefit.
The employees had an annual paid holiday as a fringe benefit. All senior citizens enjoy the fringe benefits of a tax holiday. Exclusive furniture was a fringe benefit enjoyed by the showroom sales force.
Any additional benefit.
Clear complexion is a fringe benefit of regular exercise. Good health is a fringe benefit of a healthy diet.
An edge, often used in plural.
The policemen often employed tactics suspiciously on the fringes of the law. The Royal Bengal tiger is on the fringes of extinction. Generally, glimpse, grasp, grave, guarantee.
Let's move on to the alphabet G. The first word is generally. This is an adverb. In a general manner with regards to an overall picture. This is how you can use the word generally.
Generally speaking, there are no hard and fast rules in handball. Generally, we do not allow food into the theatre. One cannot generally apply this rule to each and every country. Hunting in the night is generally a characteristic of all canines.
General is the adjective form. You can use the word general as a rule usually.
This is not a general case where we can avoid publicity.
General can also mean involving, applicable to, or affecting the whole.
Let us make a general statement to keep the press calm. The general idea is to educate children. The general idea is not to encourage rowdies in public places. If we can agree on a general policy, it will help the school.
General, holding superior rank.
The general manager is out of town. We are appointing you as a general manager. And the general manager, you will have to meet the department head.
Let's take a glimpse at the next word. Glimpse. This is a verb and a noun meaning a brief look or sight of. The past tense is glimpsed, to look briefly or to get a brief look at.
He glimpsed at his bride for a minute in the crowd. Through his half-closed eyes, he glimpsed of the snow-clad mountains.
A brief look as a noun.
They got a glimpse of the thief as he ran away. The girl just barely managed to get a glimpse of her tormentor.
Grasp. The word is a verb meaning to take or seize eagerly.
He grasped the opportunity to visit her again. He grasped the moment to say, "I love you." She grasped the chance to say a quick prayer.
Grasp. To clasp or embrace, especially with the fingers or arms.
As he lay dying, he grasped her hand lovingly. He grasped the child in a tight hug. The man grasped the ledge in a desperate attempt to save himself.
Grasp. To understand.
He stood there blinking, unable to grasp the meaning of what was said. It is difficult to grasp what you say because of your accent. He's clever and can grasp the gist of the project quickly.
Grave is the next word. Grave is a noun meaning a pit dug in the ground for the dead.
Grave was ready for him. The graves for the dead have to be covered with a stone. All you need is 6 feet for your grave when you die.
Grave as an adjective will mean serious or important.
The grave problems he faced made him mature soon. His family supported him in this grave matter.
Grave meaning likely to produce great harm or danger.
If you disobey me, you will be committing a grave mistake. Pointing that gun at me was a grave mistake, mister. Taking the first sniff at the drug was a grave mistake she made.
Grave also means having a serious and dignified appearance.
The judge sat there with a grave and thoughtful look. The father gave her a sad, grave look. The dying mother had a grave dignity in her appearance.
Grave could also mean drab in color or somber.
In summer, you should avoid dark grave clothes. Grays are a grave color. A pink scarf will lighten up your grave brown suit.
Grave is also meant to be low-pitched in sound or an accent.
His voice was marked with a grave accent. He spoke in a grave low voice. His grave voice told me something was wrong at home.
Gravity is a noun related to the word grave that can also mean the force that attracts a body to the earth.
The apple fell down on the ground because of gravity.
Gravity means seriousness.
She laughed without understanding the gravity of the situation. Children don't realize the gravity of death. Please try to behave responsibly because of the gravity of the problem.
We move on to the next word, guarantee. Guarantee is a noun and a verb. The past tense is guaranteed and present tense is guaranteeing. It means to undertake the responsibility for the debt or sale of goods.
The bank will require a guarantee for sanctioning a loan. The manufacturers could carry a guarantee valid for 1 year.
Guarantee means a formal promise or security.
I guarantee a gift for every 1,000 rupees you spend. I guarantee you success if you do this course seriously. We guarantee you will speak English in 30 days.
Guarantee also means to give security to.
The insurance guaranteed her against loss due to fire or theft. In case she had to undergo an operation, she was guaranteed medical leave with pay.
Guarantee, to assert confidently.
I guarantee you'll like it once you taste it. I guarantee that you will love my family when you meet them. H. Hierarchy, hammer, hiccup, herb, hoax.
Hierarchy. Hierarchy is a noun meaning a graded or ranked series of authority.
There is a hierarchy working here. Go one step at a time. You cannot overlook the hierarchy and jump to the top. The bullies in prison have a hierarchy which newcomers must recognize. The kids follow a hierarchy about who will bat first. The general manager is at the top of the hierarchy.
Our next word is hammer. This is used as a noun and a verb. It means a hand tool used for pounding.
Use a lightweight hammer on the door. This hammer is too heavy for me to use. The hammer used in the murder had blood on it. You cannot use the hammer on these walls.
Hammer, the act of pounding with a tool with hands or voice.
He hammered away all afternoon at the wooden furniture. He hammered away at the piano all evening. His strong words hammered the truth into my head.
A common phrase used is under the hammer. It means for sale at auction. The auctioneer uses a wooden hammer to close the sale.
His artistic paintings went under the hammer for a charity. The Van Gogh painting went under the hammer at a reserve price of £30 million.
The next word is herb. Herb is a noun often attributive. Herb is generally a plant valued for its medicinal, savory or aromatic qualities.
Many herbs grow on this mountain. India is known for its herbs used in medicine and food. You can dry fresh herbs and store them for later use. You should learn to use herbs for Ayurvedic medicine. The strong basil herb is both a medicine and a garnish.
Herbal is the adjective form.
Herbal medicine is safe and has no known side effects. I prefer herbal drugs to allopathic ones. My mother makes herbal beauty masks at home. I use an herbal shampoo for strong and shiny hair.
Hiccup. It's a noun also spelled as hiccough. H-I-C-C-O-U-G-H. A hiccup is a spasmodic inhalation with a peculiar cough-like sound.
I get a hiccup every time I eat hot, spicy food. A teaspoon of sugar will stop a hiccup. Hiccups are noisy and annoying. Take a deep breath in between the hiccups.
Hiccup also means a slight irregularity, an error, or malfunction.
There are a few hiccups in the new computer system. There are few hiccups in the planning. The boys had not imagined that the hiccups in their plan would cause serious damage.
Hiccup is usually a minor and short-lived interruption or disruption or change.
A hiccup in the stock market and my blood pressure shoots up. Every hiccup in the strategy is going to cost us money and time.
Here is the next word, hoax. Hoax is a noun. It means an act intended to trick or a practical joke.
The bomb scare was a hoax. April Fool hoaxes are not popular now. The hoax he played caused a lot of pain and embarrassment to his parents. You can be arrested for making a hoax phone call. The elaborate hoax that he had planned actually backfired. Imply, isolate, indulge, interfere, intellect.
Imply. It is a verb meaning to indicate indirectly. The past tense is implied and present is implying. The noun form is implication. To imply means to indicate by inference, association, rather than by direct statement.
I would warn you that your action has its implications. Does it imply I'm a suspect? Your words imply you have a healthy respect for communists. Should you imply that you had knowledge of this, I may have to arrest you. Your actions carry terrible implications. Power implies responsibility.
The next word is isolate. It is a transitive verb. Past tense is isolated. Isolate means to set apart from others. It also means quarantine.
As soon as she landed, she was isolated in the quarantine shed. As a punishment, Raj was kept isolated from friends. Dangerous prisoners are isolated from everybody. Isolation from society is the greatest punishment you can give a human being. Infected animals have to be isolated for treatment and recovery.
Isolate is to select from among others, especially to separate from another substance so as to obtain pure or in a free state.
Research has isolated the virus of the disease from the blood. They isolate platelets from the blood for storage. If they can isolate the cold bacteria, I will never sneeze again.
To indulge. To indulge is an intransitive verb used with in meaning. It means to take pleasure freely. Indulgence is the noun.
They indulged themselves with the beer from the fridge. The kids indulged in ice cream as the parents were away. Be careful not to indulge in drinks when you are alone. Indulgence is a sin you have to pay for later.
Indulge can also mean to satisfy wishes.
I have to indulge you for favors shown to me. I shall indulge you today because you may not see me again.
Our next word is intellect. It is a noun meaning the power of knowing.
He has the intellect of an insect. He has inherited his grandfather's intellect. His intellect saved him from imprisonment. Even though he was autistic, he was blessed with rare intellect. His physical handicap does not impair his intellect.
Intellect can also denote the capacity for knowledge.
He's so intellectual that he's known as a walking encyclopedia. He's too intellectual for his talkative wife. His intellect was not compatible with his wife's personality.
Intellect also means highly developed rational powers.
We are proud to have an intellectual as our president. You must be an intellectual to be sitting in the editor's chair.
Our last word in the alphabet I is interfere. It is an intransitive verb meaning to meddle or obstruct a process.
I hope you will not interfere in our personal matters. If you interfere, I'll slap you. Please don't interfere and let me go.
To interfere, to take part without invitation.
The police interfered and made matters worse. The reporter began to interfere and click photos. The neighbors interfered and settled the dispute. We will not allow interference in our family matters. Juxtapose, journal, jubilation, jug, juvenile.
The first word in the alphabet J that we will learn today is juxtapose. It is a transitive verb meaning to place side by side.
She planned to juxtapose rainbow colors with geometric shapes. His idea was to juxtapose black with white in the background. There's no point in juxtaposing similar objects in the same frame.
The next word is journal. It is a noun. It means a record of current transactions or discussions.
The doctor has advised you to keep a journal of your symptoms.
A journal is an account of day-to-day events.
The gist of our discussions is written in this journal.
Journal is also a record of experiences, ideas, and a diary.
I hide my journal in a safe place. Anne Frank kept a journal about her family's experience.
Journal means a record of transactions kept by a deliberative or legislative body.
Please maintain a journal of the proceedings and report to us.
Journal is also a periodical, dealing especially with matters of current issues.
We produce a journal for our company's employees. The Chartered Accountant Association's journal has a list of names we can contact.
Jubilation. This is a noun meaning an act of rejoicing.
They welcomed the new year in jubilation. There was jubilation as the soldiers came back from the war. The school distributed sweets in jubilation as their students came first in the exam.
Jubilation is an expression of great joy.
He threw his arms around them in jubilation. The dog saw him first and jumped on him in jubilation.
The next word is jug. This is a noun meaning a container with a narrow mouth and a handle.
She poured the tea from the jug. The ceremony began with the arrival of the jug on a silver tray. She placed the jug of water in front of him. The old lady poured the warm oil from the jug on his head. Hold the handle of the jug when you pour tea.
last word in the alphabet J is juvenile. It is an adjective meaning physiologically immature, childish, or undeveloped.
Juveniles cannot be punished for crimes till they are an adult. Don't act like a juvenile delinquent.
Juvenile means relating to or suitable for children or young people.
He was underage, so he was sent to a juvenile court. These juvenile books are not for me. K. Kleptomania, knock.
Kleptomania. It is a noun meaning a persistent, neurotic impulse to steal, especially without economic motive.
A kleptomaniac will steal a small coin or a book and hide it. Kleptomaniacs steal without knowing what they are doing. I always keep a watch on Radha, who is a kleptomaniac. The librarian would keep 2 coins on the table for the kleptomaniac to satisfy her urge.
The next word is knock. It is an intransitive verb meaning to strike something with a sharp blow, or to collide with something, or potter around.
I heard them knocking around in the kitchen. In the still of the night, she heard the thief knocking around the back door.
Knock means to wander.
The 2 kids knocked about the beach all summer. They backpacked and knocked around the country aimlessly.
Knock means to make a pounding noise.
He kept knocking on the wood with his axe. The woodpecker knocked all night on the tree outside.
Knock. To strike sharply.
She knocked the door before she entered. They had agreed on the code of 3 knocks on the door. She was knocked out of the campaign by the newcomer.
Knock on wood. To ward off misfortune.
Before she left for her debut, she knocked on wood for good luck.
Knock together. To make or assemble hurriedly.
I was able to knock together my tables. L. Languish, lament, literal, limitation, lax.
Languish. This is an intransitive verb meaning to be or become feeble or weak.
When her husband left home, she languished in grief.
To languish is to be or live in a state of depression.
The mother languished after her son died in the accident.
It also means to suffer neglect.
When the mother left them, the children languished at home. After the resolution was passed, it languished in the committee for 1 year.
The next word is lament. This is an intransitive verb meaning to mourn aloud or to express sorrow or mourning.
The old woman's laments disturbed the whole neighborhood. Professional women were invited to lament at the funeral. It is customary to sing traditional lament at the funeral. It is best not to lament the dead.
Lament means to regret strongly.
He lamented the day he met her. She laments the day she agreed to be on the committee. The leader lamented the day he gave the interview.
Literal is the next word. It is an adjective. Literal means it is according with the letter of the scriptures.
The ceremony was conducted literally following the tradition. They conduct the meaning literally in accordance with the book. They follow the bylaws given in the book a bit too literally.
Literally is also meant as adhering to fact.
We want freedom for the country in the complete and literal sense. Let us have the partition as literally agreed upon.
Literal is also free from exaggeration or embellishment.
It is the literal truth. The book bears all and presents the literal truth.
Literal also means relating to or expressed in letters.
He has such literal tastes in reading. You do not have to express it literally.
Literal means reproduced word for word.
I do not want a liberal translation. If the translation is too literal, a bit of the flavor is lost. I want a literal translation so that I can understand every word.
The next word is limitation. This is another noun form of the verb to limit, which means a point within which something does not extend.
A limitation is an act or instance of limiting. He has to know his limitations and not to visit us so often. He is a friend, not a brother, and that relationship has its limitations.
A limitation means limited ability.
He's not a very creative person. He has his limitations. Being a senior citizen has its limitations. Stephen King did not let his limitations obstruct his career. Not being able to speak English is a limitation you can overcome.
Lax is our next word. It is an adjective meaning of the loose bowels.
He had a problem with his legs bowels. He was constipated and the doctor advised him to have a laxative.
It means deficient in firmness.
The hostel matron was lax in maintaining discipline. The manager was lax and employees came in late. In the factory, foreman is lax. The workers could steal goods. The security was lax and resulted in the robbery. If the airport security is lax, we could be an easy target for terrorists.
Lax also means not tense, not firm, or not rigid.
The trapeze artist fell because his rope was lax. You should not be lax in your exercise routine. If the springs in the bed are lax, you could get back pain.
Lax denotes muscles in a relaxed state.
The oil massage made his muscles lax and the pain lessen. As he slipped into a deep sleep, he felt his muscles become lax. M. Mutual, mingle, momentary, mentor.
Our next word is mutual. This is an adjective. It means having the same feelings one for the other.
The family members had mutual affection. The girl felt an instant mutual attraction for the boy. The men glared at each other with mutual distrust. They had always been known as having mutual enemies. They formed a mutual attraction society.
Our next word is momentary. It is an adjective meaning lasting only a moment.
A momentary doubt flashed in her mind. She had a momentary feeling of grief when she looked back. A momentary pain gripped his chest, leaving him weak. A momentary spasm of pain shot through his arm. The injection felt like a momentary insect bite.
Momentary means having a very brief life.
The magazine was a momentary flash in the pan. The girl's starry life was like a momentary dream.
Mingle is the next word. It is an intransitive verb meaning to mix or bring or mix together.
She gently mingled the ingredients of the dish. The two colors mingled together, forming a new color. When yellow and blue mingle, you get green. The oil was leaking and mingled with the waves.
Mingle means to move about in a group.
She mingled restlessly with the guests. In the beginning, she did not know how to mingle with the girls. The different classes mingled on the first day of college.
Our last word is mentor. It is a noun meaning a person who is a trusted counselor or guide.
Ever since I embarked on my career, he's been my mentor. Thanks to my mentor, I led a straight life. If I had a mentor, I would have known what to do. A trusted mentor is a God-given gift.
See you soon.
Bye.
Either you can say a lot and mean nothing, or choose your words well and mean the world. It reminds me of a famous quote. It's better to keep shut and be thought as a fool rather than open your mouth and prove it. So, think before you speak, choose words well, and you will command love and respect. Happy hunting. See you soon.
नहीं है अब तो सोच सोच के जीना, हमको तो अब कोई भी रोक सके ना। नहीं है अब तो सोच सोच के जीना, हमको तो अब कोई भी रोक सके ना। हौसला है दिल में, आंखों में सपने, मिलाने है अब वक्त से कदम अपने। चलो तुम साथ चलो, बढ़ो तुम साथ बढ़ो, आशाओं की पलक पर चलो दिन रात चलो। चलो तुम साथ चलो, बढ़ो तुम साथ बढ़ो, ज्ञान की रोशनी में खिलो दिन रात खिलो। कुछ पाने की चाहत हो जहाँ, सपनों की आहट हो जहाँ, हमको तो अब है वो जुनून, पाना है हर वो सुकून। राहों में रहमत के अब है निशान, बदलेगा अब तो अपना ये जहां, अपना ये जहां।